Start in England. Most visitors do. London is a city where the past and future collide. Stand on Westminster Bridge as Big Ben chimes. The Thames glitters beneath you. The London Eye spins slowly across the water. Tower Bridge lifts to let a ship glide through. This is history, alive and breathing. But London isn't only landmarks. Walk into Borough Market and smell fresh bread, sizzling chorizo, and spices from every continent. You can eat like royalty for under £10 if you know the stalls. Head to Brick Lane, where curry houses fill the air with aromas that rival anything in Delhi. Or try fish and chips, wrapped in paper, steaming hot, eaten beside the river. Here's the hook. London traps you not with its icons, but with its moments. A quiet pint in a pub older than your country. A hidden garden where roses bloom behind iron gates. A second-hand bookshop that seems frozen in time. But leave London and England opens wider. Head west to Bath. Here, Roman baths still fill with mineral water, and Georgian terraces sweep across hillsides. Walk the Circus, the crescent-shaped street that feels like stepping into a Jane Austen novel. Sit in the baths themselves, steam rising, and realize people have soaked here for 2,000 years. Next is Stratford-upon-Avon, birthplace of Shakespeare. His childhood home still stands, creaking with age. The Royal Shakespeare Theatre stages plays that echo with words written centuries ago. Here's the twist. You don't have to love theater to love this place. The town itself feels like a stage set, Tudor beams, cobbled lanes, and the Avon River winding quietly past.
Travel further south to Brighton, a city where the sea meets British eccentricity. Walk its pier, lined with rides, arcades, and candy floss. Stroll the lanes, a maze of jewelry shops and quirky cafes. On the beach, locals sip drinks while bands play until sunset. Brighton proves that England can be as playful as it is historic. And then there's the Cotswolds. Rolling green hills, villages of honey-colored stone, churches that have stood for centuries. Walk through Byberry, often called the most beautiful village in England. It feels like a fairy tale. Here's the danger. People arrive for an afternoon and end up buying cottages they never planned to own. Now head north. Oxford and Cambridge, where spires rise above quiet courtyards. Scholars have studied here for nearly 1,000 years. Step into their libraries and you'll feel the weight of knowledge pressing down. It's humbling, inspiring, and unforgettable. Further north is York, a city of Viking ghosts and medieval walls. Climb the towers of York Minster, the second largest Gothic cathedral in Northern Europe. Wander the Shambles, a crooked street that inspired Harry Potter's Diagon Alley. Order a traditional Yorkshire pudding in a local pub and watch the world pass by. Beyond lies the Lake District. Poets once found their muse here. Stand beside Lake Windermere, mountains reflected on its surface. Hike through valleys, and every corner reveals another breathtaking view. This is not just scenery, this is soul. And don't forget Cornwall, the far southwest where cliffs crash into turquoise seas. St. Ives glitters with white sand beaches, surf culture thrives here. Walk the coastal path and you'll feel like you've reached the edge of the world. England is varied, complex, and irresistible, but it's only the beginning. Now let me pause and ask you, if you could explore just one English city beyond London, which would it be? Oxford, Bath, York, or Brighton? Comment below, I'd love to see where your heart takes you. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss our next journey. Scotland waits to the north, a land of stories and landscapes so wild they feel unreal. Begin in Edinburgh. The Royal Mile stretches from Holyrood Palace to Edinburgh Castle. Cobblestones underfoot, bagpipes echoing, stone buildings blackened with age. History whispers from every corner. Climb Arthur's Seat, an extinct volcano. From the top, you'll see the whole city sprawled beneath, wrapped in mist. It feels timeless. But don't stop here, head to Glasgow. Once an industrial giant, now a city of music, art, and nightlife. Murals paint its walls. Live bands play in every pub. It feels young, creative, alive. Then drive into the Highlands. This is where Scotland becomes myth. Loch Ness stretches endlessly, its dark waters hiding secrets. Ben Nevis towers above the land. Glencoe Valley speaks of battles fought and clans betrayed. And then the Isle of Skye. Jagged mountains, fairy pools, glowing blue and green, cliffs plunging into roaring seas. Here's the hook. Skye feels like another planet, yet it's just a few hours from Edinburgh. Travel further and you'll find Inverness, gateway to the Highlands, a city where modern life meets ancient landscapes. Stay here, and every day trip takes you to new adventures. Visit Stirling, where a mighty castle overlooks the fields where battles for independence were fought. Here, William Wallace is still a legend, and Braveheart is more than a film.
and Scotland knows how to celebrate. In August, the Edinburgh Fringe Festival turns the city into the world stage. Comedians, musicians, and performers flood every street. In December, Hogmanay welcomes the new year with fireworks above the castle. Strangers link arms, singing Old Lang Syne. And you're no longer a tourist. You're part of the story. Here's the twist. Scotland doesn't just capture your eyes, it captures your spirit. Now Wales, a country often overlooked, but unforgettable once you arrive. This is the land of castles. Over 600, more per square mile than anywhere else in the world. Caernarfon, a fortress of immense walls and towers. Conwy, perfectly preserved, still guarding its medieval town. Cardiff Castle, right in the heart of the capital, blending Roman ruins with Norman towers. But Wales is more than stone. Snowdonia rises into the sky, peaks piercing the clouds. Hike Mount Snowdon, and on a clear day, see as far as Ireland. The valleys are green, lush, and silent. Head west to Pembrokeshire. Cliffs plunge into turquoise waters. Kayak through caves where seals and puffins live. Stand on beaches so unspoiled, they feel secret. Or visit the Brecon Beacons, where waterfalls tumble through forests. Finally, cross the Irish Sea to Northern Ireland. Here, the land is cinematic. Stand on the Giant's Causeway, where thousands of hexagonal stones spill into the sea like a staircase for giants. It doesn't look real. It feels like magic. Drive the Causeway coastal route. Every turn reveals cliffs, rolling hills, and waves crashing below. It's one of the most beautiful drives in the world. Visit Derry, a city of walls and resilience. Walk its ramparts, and you'll see history, hardship, and hope woven together. Eat an Ulster fry, hearty enough to power you through a day of exploring. Sip whiskey in a pub where locals welcome strangers like family. Here's the twist. Visitors expect scars. What they find is resilience. What they find is beauty that lingers long after they leave. But the UK isn't just places, it's experiences, it's a transformation. So here's your warning. Don't travel to the United Kingdom. Because once you do, once you've stood on London Bridge, climbed a Scottish peak, sung in a Welsh pub, and walked the stones of the Giant's Causeway, you may never want to leave. If this journey has inspired you, make sure to tap that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another adventure.